Life doesn't change by accident, it changes by intention. Every single day is a new opportunity to build, shape, and strengthen the person you're becoming. The truth is, success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most disciplined, the most consistent, the ones who decide every day to work on themselves like their life depends on it. Because it does. If you truly want to create a life that's unstoppable, a life that rises above limitations and breaks through barriers, then you must begin at the core of your inner world. Because everything you experience externally is a reflection of what's happening inside you. The way you think, the way you feel, and the way you take care of yourself internally will shape every result you get in life. You can have all the strategies in the world, but if your inner foundation is weak, everything else will collapse. That's why the first and most important thing you must work on every single day is building unshakable inner strength through deliberate daily growth. Think about it. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. It can be your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. Every decision, every action, every opportunity starts in your mind. Yet most people treat their minds casually, as if they'll just naturally operate at peak performance without any care or attention. But you can't expect your mind to lead you to greatness if you fill it with doubts, negativity, and distractions. You have to program it intentionally. Just like a computer, whatever you feed it is what it will produce. If you feed it fear, you'll produce hesitation. If you feed it weakness, you'll produce excuses. But if you feed it strength, courage, clarity, and purpose, you'll produce results that are unstoppable. Each morning, before the world grabs your attention, you need to grab your own. Take a moment to set the tone for your mind. Don't rush into chaos. Instead, command your focus. Declare the kind of day you want to experience. Speak power into your mind. When you wake up and affirm with absolute certainty that today is another opportunity to grow, to rise, to make progress, you set your mental compass in the direction of success. It's not just about saying words, it's about training your brain to recognize possibilities instead of problems, to see opportunities instead of obstacles. This daily practice builds mental muscles that become unbreakable over time. But it's not just about what you say to yourself, it's about what you expose your mind to. If you spend your mornings scrolling through negativity, you're handing your mental power away before the day even starts. You need to feed your mind with powerful, uplifting, and challenging information. Read something that stretches your thinking. Listen to something that inspires you to act boldly. Learn something that sharpens your skills. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your mind must be fed daily with greatness if you expect it to produce greatness. Along with mental strength comes emotional mastery. Your emotions are like waves. Some days they're calm, other days they crash hard. If you allow those waves to control your direction, you'll be tossed around endlessly. But if you learn to ride them, to guide them, to stabilize them, you become unstoppable. Emotional mastery doesn't mean ignoring how you feel. It means owning your emotions instead of letting them own you. It means learning to center yourself when stress hits. It means being able to stay composed and clear even when things don't go your way. This is why daily emotional work is essential. Take time every day to check in with yourself. Breathe deeply. Feel your emotions, but don't drown in them. Practice gratitude to shift your emotional state from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to change how you feel, because it forces your focus away from what's missing and onto what's already present. When you cultivate gratitude daily, you anchor yourself in strength. Challenges may come, but you'll meet them with stability, not panic. People who master their emotions don't avoid difficulty. They simply don't allow difficulty to dictate their identity. Think about the times when you felt overwhelmed, when stress consumed you. It wasn't the event itself that broke you. It was your emotional reaction to it. The ability to remain centered when everything else is chaotic is what separates those who fall apart from those who rise. That ability doesn't come from luck. It comes from daily practice. It's like training a muscle. The more you work on your emotional fitness, the more resilient you become. And then there's your physical energy. You can have the clearest vision and the strongest mindset, but if your energy is low, your actions will be weak. Energy is the fuel of achievement. If you wake up tired, sluggish, and unfocused every day, it's not because your dreams are too big, it's because your energy is too small. This is why working on your body daily is not optional. Your body is the vehicle that carries your mind and emotions. If the vehicle is broken down, it doesn't matter how good the driver is. Move your body daily, not occasionally, daily. Exercise isn't just about looking good. It's about creating energy, sharpening focus, and releasing mental fog. When you move, your physiology shifts. You produce chemicals that lift your mood, increase your alertness, and strengthen your willpower. This is why some of the most powerful breakthroughs happen during a workout, a walk, or physical movement. Your physiology and psychology are deeply connected. If you change one, you influence the other. Nutrition plays its part too. What you put into your body determines how you feel, how you think, and how you act. Feed yourself like someone with a mission, not like someone who doesn't care. Hydrate properly. Eat foods that give you energy, not drain it. Rest deeply. Your sleep is where your mind and body repair, where your strength is rebuilt. Skipping rest doesn't make you stronger. It makes you weaker over time. Working on your physical energy daily means respecting your body as a vital partner in your success. Now, why is all of this so crucial? Because the world is unpredictable. Life will throw challenges, setbacks, and surprises your way. If you rely on external stability to stay strong, you'll crumble when that stability is taken away. But if your strength is built from within, if your mindset is sharp, your emotions are balanced, and your energy is high, you become like a fortress. External storms may rage, but they don't shake your foundation. You become the kind of person who doesn't just survive challenges, you thrive in them. Imagine two people facing the same setback. One collapses into despair, blames everything around them, and gives up. The other takes a deep breath, centers themselves, finds clarity, and takes strategic action. The difference isn't the situation, it's their inner world. One is controlled by the storm, the other commands their ship. That's why working on your inner strength daily is the most important investment you'll ever make. It's the difference between drifting through life and directing your destiny. This daily work is not glamorous. It's not about sudden bursts of motivation or rare moments of inspiration. It's about the quiet, consistent choices you make when no one's watching. It's about choosing to read that empowering book instead of mindlessly scrolling. It's about choosing to breathe deeply and stay calm when things get tough. It's about lacing up your shoes and moving your body even when you don't feel like it. These small daily acts compound over time into massive internal power. Think of your mind, emotions, and body as three pillars. If one is weak, the structure wobbles. If two are weak, it collapses. But if all three are strong, you build something that lasts. Every day, you have the opportunity to strengthen these pillars. You can choose to grow, or you can choose to coast. Coasting might feel easier in the moment, but it leads to weakness. Growth may be uncomfortable, but it leads to power. This is where true confidence is born. Real confidence doesn't come from pretending to be strong. It comes from actually being strong. When you know that your mind is sharp, your emotions are steady, and your energy is high, you walk differently. You speak differently. You act differently. You no longer need external validation because your power comes from within. And that inner power attracts opportunities, people, and results like a magnet. Working on your inner world daily also creates a ripple effect in every other area of your life. Your relationships improve because you show up with more clarity and presence. Your work improves because you're more focused and resilient. Your goals accelerate because you're not constantly battling internal chaos. When you master the inside, the outside follows. So ask yourself, how are you feeding your mind each day? What are you doing to stabilize your emotions? How are you energizing your body? These are not small questions, they're the foundation of everything. If you neglect them, no strategy, no opportunity, no external advantage can save you. But if you prioritize them, no setback, no challenge, no obstacle can stop you. This is why the first thing you must work on every day is your inner strength. Wake up with intention. Feed your mind with powerful thoughts. Strengthen your emotional state through gratitude and presence. Move your body and fuel it like the powerhouse it's meant to be. This is not a one-time effort, it's a daily commitment. Over time, this commitment transforms you from the inside out. You stop being someone who reacts to life, and you become someone who creates life. You stop living in fear and start living in power. Every day, your inner world gives birth to your outer reality. If you want greatness out there, build greatness in here. That's where the journey begins. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. Because the moment you decide to take full responsibility for your inner world, you step into a level of strength that nothing can shake. If you want to build a life that reflects your highest potential, then every single day must be shaped by the habits, discipline, and standards you set for yourself. Success is never a random event. It's the natural outcome of the standards you choose to live by, not once in a while, but every single day. The problem is, most people treat their goals like wishes. They hope, they dream, but they don't anchor those dreams to daily behaviors. The real difference between those who talk about success And those who live it comes down to discipline and the habits they relentlessly repeat. This is where your daily structure becomes your secret weapon. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. Everyone wants growth. Everyone wants results. But not everyone is willing to show up and do the work when it's uncomfortable, when it's boring, or when it's inconvenient. Discipline is not about feeling motivated all the time. It's about acting in alignment with your vision, regardless of how you feel. Feelings are temporary, but discipline creates permanent change. Every day you choose discipline over excuses. You strengthen a part of yourself that can't be broken. It's like forging steel. At first, the heat is uncomfortable, but that heat is what shapes you into something powerful. Think about the moments in your life where you didn't feel like doing something, did it anyway. Maybe it was studying when you were tired, exercising when you wanted to sleep in, or working on a project while others were distracted. Those are the moments that built your resilience. Those are the moments that separated you from the average. Every time you honor your commitment instead of your comfort, you send a message to your subconscious that your word matters. And when your word matters to yourself, you become unstoppable. Daily discipline starts with the small choices. It's not just about the big decisions. It's about the consistent micro decisions that compound over time. When the alarm goes off, do you get up or hit snooze? When it's time to work, do you focus or get lost in distractions? When no one is watching, do you give your best or do the minimum? These small decisions shape your future more than any single event ever will. People often overestimate the power of one big moment and underestimate the power of consistent small ones. But success is built in the daily grind. In the quiet hours when no one else sees the effort you're putting in. Habits are the backbone of your daily discipline. Your life today is a direct reflection of the habits you built over time. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. But if your habits are strong, aligned, and intentional, then success becomes automatic. Habits remove the need for constant willpower. When something becomes habitual, you don't have to think about it. You just do it. That's why it's so crucial to design habits that support your vision rather than sabotage it. Ask yourself, what are the habits that would make success inevitable for you? Maybe it's starting your day with focus, reviewing your goals, exercising, learning something new, or doing deep, distraction-free work. Whatever they are, these habits must become non-negotiable. Not something you do when you have time, but something you make time for. If you treat your growth habits like options, you'll keep treating your dreams like fantasies. But if you treat them like necessities, you'll make your dreams inevitable. Changing habits isn't always easy. Your brain is wired for comfort, for efficiency, for the path of least resistance. That's why when you start a new habit, it feels uncomfortable at first. But that discomfort is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're rewiring your brain. Every repetition is a signal that you're building a new pattern. Over time, what was once difficult becomes natural. That's the beauty of habits. They start as discipline and evolve into identity. Daily standards are the third pillar of this transformation. Standards define what you tolerate from yourself. If your standards are low, you'll accept weak effort, inconsistent action, and mediocre results. But when your standards rise, everything changes. High standards don't mean perfection. They mean that there are certain things you simply will not negotiate with yourself. It's the difference between I'll try and I must. People with high standards don't wait for the perfect moment to act. They act because their identity doesn't allow anything less. Your standards show up in your routines, your language, your decisions, and your follow through. If you decide that mediocrity is not an option, then every day becomes an opportunity to reinforce that identity. This means saying no to distractions even when they're tempting. It means following through on your commitments, even when no one is watching. It means refusing to lower your effort to match the environment, and instead, raising your environment to match your effort. Imagine two people with the same goals. One treats their goals casually. They work when they feel like it. They're easily distracted. They let circumstances dictate their schedule. The other treats their goals seriously. They structure their day intentionally. They keep their promises to themselves. They push through discomfort. Who do you think will succeed? The difference isn't in the dream. It's in the daily standard. The first person hopes. The second person commits. This level of commitment doesn't come from external pressure. It comes from internal ownership. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to build your habits for you. No one will impose your standards on your behalf. This is your job. This is your responsibility. And the beautiful part is, once you take that responsibility fully, You no longer depend on the unpredictable world to shape your future. You become the architect of your destiny. Discipline, habits, and standards work together like gears in a powerful machine. Discipline is the engine. It pushes you forward when it's hard. Habits are the tracks. They keep you moving in the right direction automatically. Standards are the blueprint. They ensure everything is built at a level of excellence. When all three work together, momentum becomes inevitable. You stop fighting yourself every day and start flowing towards your goals with precision and consistency. But let's be honest, there will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when your mind whispers, take it easy, skip it today. That's where true power is forged. Because every time you choose discipline on a day you didn't feel like it, you send a powerful message to your future self. I can count on me. And when you can count on yourself, the world begins to count on you too. People who build trust with themselves become leaders, not followers. They stop living reactively and start living intentionally. Your habits will either make you or break you. If you don't intentionally design empowering habits, disempowering habits will form by default. If you don't set strong standards, weak ones will creep in without permission. If you don't exercise discipline daily, comfort will take over your life like a slow, moving tide that eventually drowns your potential. That's why every single day matters. You can't skip the work and expect the reward. You can't live inconsistently and expect consistent success. The beautiful thing is, you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to show up daily. Start with one habit, master it, then stack another. Build momentum slowly but consistently. Over time, these small, seemingly insignificant actions create massive change. This is the principle that turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. Think about how athletes train. They don't become champions by practicing once in a while. They train daily, even when it hurts. They maintain strict habits, even when no one is watching. They live by standards that most people would find extreme. But that's why they achieve what most people only dream about. Their discipline creates separation. Their habits build mastery. Their standards keep them sharp. This applies to every area of life. Whether you're building a business, improving your health, mastering a craft, or developing yourself as a person, the formula is the same. Daily discipline creates consistency. Consistency builds habits. Habits form identity. Identity drives results. When your daily behaviors align with your highest standards, success stops being a question of if and becomes a question of when. This is not about living a rigid, joyless life. It's about creating structure that empowers you. Discipline doesn't confine you, it frees you. When you have strong habits and standards, you waste less energy on indecision and self-doubt. You free your mind to focus on creation, growth, and contribution. You stop being a prisoner of procrastination and become a master of your time. Every day you have a choice. You can let the day control you, or you can control the day. You can drift through your routines or design them with precision. You can let your standards slip, or you can hold them high and demand more from yourself. The path you choose will determine everything. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the smartest, the luckiest, or even the most talented. It belongs to those who decide day after day to live with discipline, build empowering habits, and hold themselves to high standards, even when no one's watching. So ask yourself, what standards are you living by right now? What habits are shaping your future? Where in your life have you let discipline slip? And more importantly, what would happen if, starting today, you raised your standards, locked in your habits, and committed to daily discipline without negotiation? How different would your life look in 6 months, a year, 5 years? The answer is everything, because those daily choices compound. They don't just shape your days, they shape your destiny. Every great life is built brick by brick, day by day through consistent action. Discipline is the mortar that holds those bricks together. Habits are the repeated placements of those bricks. Standards determine the structure you're building. If you commit to this process fully, your life will become a masterpiece, not by accident, but by design. There comes a point in every journey where the focus has to rise above survival, beyond just getting through the day. It has to expand. Growth is not meant to stay confined within you, it's meant to overflow. To build a truly extraordinary life, you have to work on expanding your vision every single day and finding ways to contribute beyond yourself. Because if you only focus on what's in front of you, you limit what's possible. But when you expand your vision, you give your life direction, momentum, and meaning that goes far beyond temporary success. Every day, life gives you two choices: stay where you are or stretch into who you can become. Most people stay stuck not because they lack ability, but because their vision is too small. They only think about what's immediately possible, not what's ultimately possible. They allow their current circumstances to dictate their dreams instead of allowing their dreams to shape their circumstances. But the truth is, the size of your vision determines the size of your future. If your vision is tiny, your life will shrink to fit it. But if your vision is expansive, bold, and clear, everything in your life starts to stretch to meet that standard. Expanding your vision doesn't mean having unrealistic fantasies. It means seeing beyond your comfort zone. It means asking yourself bigger questions. Instead of asking, how can I get by? Ask, how can I thrive? Instead of saying, I hope things improve, ask, how can I create a future that excites me? Every great achievement started with someone daring to imagine something bigger than what existed at the moment. Your vision is the blueprint for everything that follows. Without it, you drift. With it, you drive. This is why you must work on expanding your vision daily. Vision is not something you set once and forget. It's something you cultivate like a garden. You refine it. You clarify it. You stretch it. The person you are today may not even be able to comprehend the opportunities your future self is capable of creating. So each day, you need to feed your vision. Read stories of people who broke barriers. Surround yourself with influences that challenge your limits. Spend time imagining possibilities without immediately shutting them down with doubt. Vision grows when you give it space to breathe. One of the most powerful daily practices is to visualize the life you want as if it's already real. Close your eyes and see yourself living at your highest potential. Feel it, hear it, experience it as vividly as you can. When you do this consistently, something powerful happens. Your mind begins to align with that vision. Your decisions start to reflect it. Your standards start to match it. And over time, your reality catches up to the clarity of your vision. The more vivid the picture, the stronger the pull. But vision alone is not enough. You have to expand your actions to match that vision. Dreams without action are just wishes. Every day, you must take bold steps toward what you see. These steps don't have to be massive. They just have to be consistent. Maybe it's learning a new skill that will move you closer to your goals. Maybe it's making that uncomfortable phone call. Maybe it's saying yes to something that scares you, or saying no to something that's holding you back. Expansion happens at the edge of discomfort. The more often you push those edges, the more your world grows. Fear is often the greatest barrier to expanding vision. It whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not enough? What if it doesn't work? And if you listen, your world contracts. But if you act despite fear, something shifts inside you. You begin to realize that fear is just a test, not a stop sign. Every time you step beyond what you know, your capacity expands. Your comfort zone is not a fixed boundary, it's elastic. The more you stretch it, the bigger it gets. And with each stretch, new possibilities reveal themselves. The other key to expanding your vision is to stop measuring yourself by where you are and start measuring yourself by where you can go. Too many people look at their current reality and let it define their potential. But your current circumstances are just the result of past actions and past thinking. They are not your future. If you keep looking at what is, you'll keep creating more what is. But if you focus on what can be, you open doors that were invisible before. The most transformative breakthroughs happen when you stop living by sight and start living by vision. As you expand your vision, something else happens. Your purpose starts to deepen. You begin to see that life is not just about achieving for yourself, but about contributing to something bigger. It's not enough to grow inwardly. You must also reach outwardly. Fulfillment comes from progress, but lasting fulfillment comes from impact. When you use your growth to lift others, to inspire, to serve, to create positive ripples in the world, your life takes on a whole new level of significance. Every day, you have opportunities to impact others, often in ways you might not even realize. A kind word, a moment of genuine attention, a piece of advice, an example of courage. These can spark transformation in someone else's life. And when you make contribution a daily priority, your focus shifts from self-centered limitations to outward-centered possibilities. Suddenly, your energy multiplies. Challenges become easier to face because you're not just doing it for yourself anymore, you're doing it for something greater. This is where true greatness is born, not in isolation, but in contribution. The most fulfilled people are not those who accumulate the most, but those who give the most. Not necessarily in money, but in time, energy, ideas, compassion, and action. And here's the beautiful part. When you expand your vision to include service to others, the universe often responds by expanding opportunities for you. It's as if life says, if you're willing to give more, I'll give you more to give. Doors open that you didn't even know existed because your vision is no longer confined to yourself. To make this real, you must look for ways to serve daily. Ask yourself, who can I help today? How can I add value in this moment? It doesn't have to be grand gestures. It could be encouraging someone who's struggling. It could be teaching something you've mastered. It could be creating something that improves people's lives. Over time, these daily contributions build a legacy far greater than any personal achievement alone could. Expansion also requires humility. You have to be willing to admit that you don't know everything, that there's more to learn, more to experience, more to give. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. But when you stay curious, hungry, and open, your vision keeps evolving. Each day becomes an adventure of discovery, not a repetition of the past. This mindset keeps you alive, vibrant, and moving forward. There will be times when expanding your vision feels overwhelming. You'll question if you're capable. You'll face resistance from within and from others. People might not understand your drive to grow. They might say you're dreaming too big. That's okay. Expansion is not meant to be understood by those who've chosen to stay small. It's meant to be lived by those who dare to step into the unknown. Every visionary has faced doubt, but the difference between those who stopped and those who succeeded was the daily decision to keep expanding anyway. Remember, the goal is not to build a perfect life overnight. The goal is to make daily progress in expanding what you believe is possible, taking bold steps toward that vision, and using your growth to elevate others. Even one small act of courage, one moment of contribution, one expansion of thought can shift the trajectory of your entire life. Think of your vision as a horizon. No matter how far you walk, the horizon keeps moving. That's not a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. The more you move toward it, the more it expands. That's what makes life extraordinary. There's always another level, another opportunity, another impact waiting to be made. Your job is to keep walking, keep expanding, keep contributing. When you live this way, your energy changes. You stop being confined by yesterday's limitations. You stop letting fear dictate your actions. You wake up each day with a sense of purpose, clarity, and excitement. You no longer wonder what life might be like if you dared to dream bigger. You live it. And through that, you inspire others to do the same. Expansion creates a ripple effect. When one person expands, it gives others permission to expand too. This is why expanding your vision and serving beyond yourself must be something you work on every single day. It's not a once-in-a-while task. It's a way of living. Feed your vision with clarity and boldness. Act on that vision consistently, even when fear tries to hold you back. Stretch your comfort zone daily, because growth lives on the other side of discomfort. And use your expanding strength to lift others higher, to make a difference, to leave a mark that outlives you. Your life is not meant to be a small story. It's meant to be a legacy. Every day is a blank page and you hold the pen. You can either keep writing the same chapter, or you can dare to write a story that inspires, impacts, and transforms. Expansion is the key. Contribution is the fuel. Together, they create a life that doesn't just succeed, it matters.